Welcome
Good
to the
evening.
Expect to Win experience.
Good evening.
Yes,
We're
good
back
evening.
for
Good
another
evening.
show. Yes.
We are here. I'm Coach Thomas.
I'm Candy Knight, and let's get the show started. Good evening. Good evening, and welcome back to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show, where we talk to student athletes and highlight all things sports and talk to a few greats along the way.
I'm Coach Thomas, and
And I'm Candy.
I just want to, before we get started, I want to, for those of you that tuned in last week, I just want to issue a sincere apology. I had such a hard time trying to get logged on, and I was trying to do it on my phone. And I know you don't want to hear a bunch of excuses, but I apologize to our viewers. I apologize to our guests. And that's why we brought them back tonight. I wanted to be fair. I didn't think it was fair for all of the technical problems we had last week. Wasn't fair to them, to Coach Kelly, and wasn't fair to Candy even in her absence. So we are here tonight with two very interesting young ladies that are student athletes. And one thing I like about these two ladies, young ladies, Candy, I think they both have GPAs above 4.0.
Oh, wow. Very nice. Ladies representing.
Yes, yes. So we're going to bring our first guest on tonight, and she is from Gardena, California, and she is a track star. And her name is Miss Cherrish Williams.
Hi.
Hi, Cherish. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us this
Thank
evening.
you for having me.
Of course. So let's get right into it. You're track and field star. Tell us how you got your start running with track and field.
Basically, I've been running since I was little, and my inspiration actually came from my auntie.
Nice.
So, it's okay if I tell a story.
Absolutely. Tell a story.
Okay, so my auntie, which is my mom's sister, I heard when I was like little, she used to run track, but like I never met her because she passed before I was
Oh,
born. So whenever I go to my granny house, she'd always tell me stories of how she always won medals and trophies and awards, and that just really boosts my inspiration.
that's awesome. What a great story. And so it definitely runs in the family. I love that. So what's your event or your specialty that you run?
I run the 100 meter, the 200 meter, the 4x4, the 4x1, the 400 sprint medley, and I was supposed to be doing, what is it? I'm sorry, my mind just went
Oh,
blank.
no, you're fine.
The long jump. The long jump. That's it.
Okay, that's a lot of events. So which one is your favorite?
The 100.
Yeah, I like the 100 too. I ran track back when I was in like middle school, but it didn't last long. But the 100 is easy. Like you get started, and by the time you get into it, the race is over. So yeah, that was my favorite as well. So one more question, real quick, before Coach Thomas jumps back in. How do you prepare for all these different events? Is it the same preparation for each one, or do you have to think differently when you're preparing?
So basically, how I prepare is I start off by praying first, and then training. Training for the different events is like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we have a new coach, and we're getting into our I'm sorry, my our what's it called, routine. I'm sorry, routine.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. All right. So hopefully this upcoming season will be pretty good for you. When do you guys begin?
Our first track meet, our opening is in February.
Okay. So you've got a little bit of time. That's good.
Hmm.
Cherish, you said your aunt inspired you. What did you hear about her that inspired you that made you want to run track?
I heard that she was always outside running a lot. I heard that from my granny. She was always outside running a lot, and she always won gold medals, and that just boosts my inspiration.
What is it? What do you think about, or do you think about anything when you're running, or right before you start running? If you're in the starting block, what do you think about?
I think about, well, sometimes I am nervous, but I always think like my auntie got me. When I'm running, my auntie got me. My auntie got me, and my auntie got me. Yeah.
I like that. That's really sweet. Yeah.
That that's beautiful. That kind of touched me. Right there, that threw
It
me.
really is beautiful. What's her name?
Her name was Janice Denise Thomas.
All right. Well, we love Auntie Janice. Shout out to her. I mean, being an inspiration way, throughout the generations. I love that. So, speaking of inspiration, for those who want to run track or who you may inspire in the future, what words of advice would you give them?
I would tell them it doesn't matter it doesn't matter your size, it doesn't matter if you feel like doing something, go out and do it.
I
Just
like that.
go for it.
I like that. All right. So, what's the future look like for you? Are you looking to run in college or head to the Olympics one day? What would you like to do?
Well, after I graduate high school, I want to go to Cal State Dominguez Hills and I want to study cardiology.
Nice.
And I also want to run track and I want to take my track skills and experience to the Olympics.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Cherish, you understand that your GPA is 4.0 now. But you say you want to be a cardiologist, but initially you had problems in chemistry, but you turned that around. How talk about that? How did it? Because from you weren't doing that good in chemistry, and now where are you with your chemistry?
Chemistry, I got a tutor just recently, and my tutor's been really helping me out. And I've just been on my free time just studying and preparing myself for the future test.
Okay, that's good. Now, how has COVID affected your studies at all, or I guess your training for your track and field?
For the training for track and field, it affected me a little bit. It didn't take me all the way off track, but took me off a little bit because I was able to actually get on the track, get in the blocks, get in my spikes and all that. I had to run around and practice in the backyard and just work out around the house.
Okay, cool. All right, and you guys are back in school now.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, cool, cool. Do you have anyone that you look up to in the track and field world that you aspire, your game after, or that you look up to?
I look up to Shakari Richardson and Florence Griffith Jr.
Okay,
Doing
all right, Bojo.
Mhm.
Cherish. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap this up, but I'm just curious how important who inspires you, or who stays on you as far as your grades, and who helps you to make sure, because you can't run track without the right, without good grades, and how I mean, how are you motivated? What motivates you to get those good grades that you get?
My parents and my brothers Dante and Dwayne, everybody in my family has always had my back through everything. And whenever I need help with something, I know they're the first people I could go to. Your family, your family is always first. God and your family is first.
Always. I love that. All right. Well, Cherish, before we leave out, do you have a social media that we can connect with you on?
Uh, no.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show and talking to us about track and field. We definitely wish you much success in the future in this upcoming season.
Thank you
But
for having
before we go, one more question, Cherish.
me.
What does expect to win mean to you?
Ah,
Expect to win means to me. mm,
Well, while you're thinking, you can show that expect to win hoodie that you're wearing. Just stand
Expect to
that be
win.
all
you.
right.
So
There
the
you
camera
go.
properly. I'm sorry.
There
Very
you
nice.
go.
It says be you. Basically, yeah. What the shirt says: be yourself. Win or lose, just know that you're still great.
I love
All
it.
right. Love
I
it.
love it.
Love it. All right. Well, Cherish, thank you for being with us.
hmm
Uh, ladies and gentlemen, the track star, shout out to your school.
Huh? I didn't see you cut out. I'm sorry.
Give a shout out to your school.
Oh yeah, I would like to shout out my school, Leuzinger High School. Whose house? Whose house? Period.
All
Period.
right.
Home of the Olympians. I want to give a special thanks to Russell Westbrook. He's remodeled our whole school. Right
Awesome.
now, our track and football field is getting remodeled as we speak. So they said it's gonna take 18 months. So
Shout out to Russell Westbrook and
hmm
for all of the great things he's doing over there at Leuzinger High School.
I love it. I love
All
it.
right, Cherish, thank you for being with us tonight. Bless you, and we will see you in the Olympics.
That's right.
thank you for having me. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, wow. Uh, kind of got me for a minute
Yeah,
because
about her aunt. That was really sweet and special. I mean, we don't get a lot of track and field athletes either. So it's
exactly,
great to hear about, that and how family means so much to her.
and talking about her aunt, that's was my somebody just put "Don't cry," or
Aw.
my nephew. he was talking about she was talking about my little sister,
Oh, okay.
my baby sister. So
Gotcha.
and Cherish was my niece, and she was talking about my sister. So my nephew just sent a message that "Don't cry," Unc. All right,
You
I'm not
guys
gonna cry.
really- you guys have such an athletic family. I mean, everyone is just great, and I love that for y'all.
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Let me get it together. Let me take a commercial break, and we will be right back. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at our drill. So yeah, you're doing good, real good, Coach Thomas. You already emotional about your sister, and then you
Me
show Kobe
too.
Bryant. What can I say? Oh,
It's been one
God.
of those days, but I mean, rest in peace to Kobe too. I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, that. Oh my God. All right.
Make it through.
Whew, Candy, you don't know how much I needed you today.
Oh, well, we'll push right on through. Who's our next athlete?
We will bring up our next athlete. She is a basketball star, hoop star. I just love this young lady's personality also. And she's from, I think it's our first guest, I think from South Dakota.
Yeah, I
You know,
love that.
we are global. We are everywhere.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome basketball star Malia Estes.
Hi, Malia. Welcome to the show.
Hi, y'all.
Hi. Well, before we get
Thank
started, I'm
you.
curious to know. Tell us a little bit about what it's like living in South Dakota because we don't hear a lot about South Dakota.
The weather's very bipolar.
Wow.
The
What's it
weather
like
is
With
now?
bipolar. You said the weather is bipolar.
Is it cold now?
Yeah, the weather's very bipolar. Like it'd be raining and then it'd be like 90 degrees some days. I don't know. And then when winter comes, it's really bipolar too. Like it will have
Hmm.
like this big old storm, and then we won't see snow for like 3 weeks, and then here comes another storm, and I don't know. It's all over the place, but it's
Interesting.
very rural. A lot of farms, I guess. But yeah,
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for that. All right, well, let's talk about. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
Candy, before you do, let Malia, I want to say because like on the expect to win experience page, where they have the little how many people have viewed you or whatever, you had over 2,000 people
Hmm.
viewed you or liked you or something. How are
yeah.
you so popular? And you have a lot of people watching you now, and somebody just sent a message that said, "Oh, dang, she needs a better light."
Oh
So,
no.
Okay, I just always in
so,
this way.
so you have a lot of fans, obviously.
Yeah, actually, I got a lot of family.
Well,
You
that's
have,
awesome. I'm glad they're on supporting.
What's
oh,
that?
okay. The message is, this is her grandma.
Oh, hi, Grandma.
your
Okay.
grandma, your grandma sent a message. She
Baby.
said you need better light.
Okay, I just turned around, so she should be happy.
All right.
Okay.
Then let's get into basketball. So you're in your senior year, correct? When does your
Yeah.
season start?
It should start maybe a week before Thanksgiving.
Okay, so you guys are preparing now for the new season. So tell me about your last season and how I guess your high school career has been for basketball.
Oh, last season was crazy. So I was going to this school where I live, and COVID hit, and they didn't have sports or anything. So um, White River, my brother graduated from here, and like I've always wanted to come here. And our school not having basketball, I got the chance to transfer, and
Mm,
so I came to White River, and I already knew it. Like I grew up from like with all these girls that are already here,
mm,
and I started right away, and we just went to work. We ended up having a good season. We only had one loss, and ended up winning state too. So it was
awesome.
a pretty good experience.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
great first year, right, with the new school and the new team. Awesome. Well, what's your
yeah,
position
yeah.
when you play?
I played like a four, a three, and a four.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was like usually at the high post, but that's like where all my game is like mid range, high post.
Okay, and you look. I know you're sitting down, but you look like you're tall. From I guess from what I can see. How tall are you?
I'm 5'7", 5'8", maybe,
Okay, okay,
but
well, pretty good
yeah,
height.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of small.
Okay, so how'd you get your start in basketball?
uh, I guess just being around it my whole life. I'm from the reservation, so you grow up around basketball. And my
Nice.
brother and my dad played it while I was a kid, so I was always around it, like just growing up. And uh, I don't know, they were just my role models. So whatever they did, like I wanted to grow up doing, and I wanted to be good as them, as like of course. So I just worked to be better, be as good as them.
I got you. So you think you could take on your brother now?
He might D me up a little bit, but I think I got something in store for him.
Right. Once they get a little older and don't play as much, you might be able to take them at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No,
Malia, what are your future aspirations?
Definitely college. For basketball. Um, I want to go into athletic training, and if I could take my basketball career farther, I will. And like I would want to, like that's my first goal. But if not, I'd fall back on athletic training. Become a rehab and a physical therapist, and so I'd get to be like around the game. I'd get to just help other athletes and like help them heal and all that.
Sounds like a plan. I like that you have that planned out. Do you want to stay close to
Yep.
home since all of your family or a lot of your family is in the area?
Uh, it's still debating. Um, I'm kind of like COVID kind of made me attached to my family, so I'm
Yeah,
like kind of like always wanting to be with them, and especially being my last year. But I've always wanted to be away and like I don't know, just traveling a lot. I got to see the world kind of, or
mhm.
just more of the states, and it's so much bigger than South Dakota. So I'd love to go away.
Absolutely. Do you have a state in mind or a destination in mind that you would choose?
Um, I would love to go. I know Colorado's like just a state down from us,
Hmm.
but I would always. It's beautiful there. So yeah,
Very nice. Los Angeles. Have
yeah,
you ever been to LA?
yeah. Actually, I have.
Okay, cool. All right. So, who is your inspiration in the game? Do you have a favorite basketball player?
Yeah. I really look up to Kevin Durant and um Devin Booker.
Okay. Yeah. Both great players. Awesome. Do you have a favorite team?
Yeah. Favorite team? That's kind of iffy. I've always liked players because so many people change teams and
That
so
is
many players
true.
change teams. So I just stick with players.
Gotcha. All right.
I,
Sounds good.
I have a question, Malia. What is it like being a student athlete on the Indian reservation? Is that any different? I mean, I guess that's where you grew up. What is it? Do you think it's any different than someone outside of the reservation?
It's definitely harder. I feel like because I've been both to a reservation school and a public school.
Hmm.
But being on the reservation, you don't really get the same experience as you would in a public school. Um, like, I guess it's just um, not really the environment, but the kids. Like, you don't grow up with a lot of kids that have the best like home structure. So, like, you have teachers taking their time and like slowing down the whole class for them, and so that makes it harder for a lot of the kids that are like already above like their grade average or level. So they definitely just they do a different style, and it's not much like public. But yeah, I don't think we get the same I'd say yeah experience or teaching.
Gotcha. So, your school that you just moved to, is that on the reservation or is that public?
It's like right off the reservation, but like 90% of the school is Native American. Like all the kids are Native American, but it's public because it's like right off the reservation.
Okay. Okay, nice. And we heard that you also have a high GPA as well. So how are you
Yeah.
able to maintain, I know with COVID and studies and being a student athlete, what keeps you so focused?
Um, my dad motivates me a lot, and my coach really keeps me in check with my attendance, my grades, and all of that. I know it's a big part of like how you end. Um,
Mhm.
but it's basically my dad. Like he always tells me that I need to keep up on that stuff, and that like a lot of college coaches are gonna see that. And I don't know. I just want to be better than my past, so that's mostly my motivation. Because I know a lot of my family didn't get like the same opportunities as I do, so I just want to do right by them.
Wow,
Good
that's
deal.
beautiful, Malia. I mean, there's something, certain uh, uh, athletes come on the show, and really all of them are special. All of them are special, and it's just something about certain athletes that you just have something different. And I think you and Cherish, and we just actually received a comment. Two great young ladies. Congratulations to you both. So you have that it thing. Malia. You have
For
that it thing.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I like the fact
Thanks.
that you have your life plans out, and I could tell you're very mature. So, congratulations, like they said in advance. I can definitely tell that you're going to go far in your
Thank
studies
you.
and, in your game. Absolutely. So, yeah. So, before we get ready to wrap up, I mean, do you have a social media for contact?
Yeah, I'm on I guess Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
Do I have to say that?
Well, if you don't want to, that's
Yeah.
fine. Well, thank you.
Well, my Twitter is Malia E and my Instagram is Mal.Estes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
And you will be receiving a expect to win hoodie in South Dakota. And your grandma just sent you a message, says she's proud of you.
So sweet.
So
Thanks, Graham.
that that is so awesome. Well, Malaya, thank you for being with us tonight. We are looking and expecting great things from you. And as I forgot to tell Cherish, but I'll say it to you, and I know Cherish is still watching. When you start making a lot of money, don't forget about Coach and Kandi.
Definitely come back and talk to the
All
athletes
right.
behind you. Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, you got another message. We love you, Ma, from Michaela Estes. So there's
Yeah,
another
that's my
message for
auntie. I love y'all.
Oh,
you. Well, thank you, family, for supporting Malaya and also Cherish's mom. She chimed in also. Awesome, Cherish. You did a great job. What a special way to honor Auntie Nisi. So we had to. I knew this was going to be a special show tonight. I
yeah,
knew
very
it was.
nice. And thank you to the family for watching and for supporting. That means a lot, not only to the athletes, but to us as well. So,
Definitely,
thanks for watching.
definitely. And her grandma said, "Thank you for giving her this opportunity." You're welcome,
Yeah, thank you
Grandma.
guys a lot.
And we're gonna send Grandma expect to win hoodie too.
All right, Grandma. All right,
Ladies and
We
Melissa.
gentlemen,
love that.
Miss Malaya Estes. Thank you, Malaya. Whew.
All right.
Two
Another great
great
interview,
young
another
ladies.
great athlete. Absolutely. South Dakota. Wow.
Yeah. So we're
Fantastic.
gonna bring on our expert on all things reservation.
Hi, Coach Kelly. Welcome this evening. How are you?
Man, I'm good. I like to hear, a lot of the girls, and of course, I do have experience with a lot of the kids from the reservation. And what you've seen tonight with Malia is Native Americans use basketball as a vehicle to beat a lot of the things that surround them. And I grew up that way. I didn't necessarily grow up in a negative environment all the way around. I was blessed to have my parents. We're actually still married, which is rare. They just celebrated the 45th anniversary. Happy anniversary, mom and dad.
Nice.
Wow. Happy
And,
anniversary.
but when you're a Native American, basketball is what you do. And
Mm,
there's a ton of kids that make it out. Some don't make it out. It's all choices, and that's kind of what tonight's tip is about.
awesome.
Well, I definitely want to hear it, Coach, and and if I don't know, if maybe you can touch on it because I don't know a lot about life on the reservation. I don't. You're probably the only person I know outside of the young people that we've met that actually has lived on it in the Indian reservation. If you can't touch on what makes life so difficult, I mean, is it a lot of poverty? Is it what is it? Because from what I have seen, I've seen a reservation before in Arizona, and it was, I mean, they owned everything. They owned the casino. They own their own police force, their own sheriff. So if you can just kind of touch on that, and so we're gonna turn the floor over to Coach Kelly, our recruitment specialist and reservation specialist as well. So, all right, Coach, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Tonight's tip, I just want to talk about, I guess, what you would consider what I call seed time and harvest. I know a lot of seniors that are, things aren't normal right now, especially with COVID. Recruiting is definitely different, and you have a limited amount of games to play. Sometimes games are getting canceled because of exposures and because of positive tests and things like that. And it puts people on there. Here's what my tip is for this week. When you're planting seeds, you have to make sure that you're first of all selecting the right seeds. So if you get bad seeds, you're going to get a bad harvest. You get good seeds, you're going to get a good harvest. Secondly, you have to prepare your ground and you dig it in and you bury it. But you also have to make sure that you take care of it, that you're watering it, you're fertilizing it, and all that. And once that happens, you as a farmer or somebody who is a gardener or something, you trust the process that what you're doing is going to reap the benefit in the long run. And I have to say that because it's going to mirror what you're doing as an athlete with college aspirations. So there's a lot of things that you're going to have to put time into that you're not going to feel like you're going to get immediate results from. And today's society is built around immediate results, and real life just isn't that way. So I want to encourage you all to put time into your grades because from ninth grade all the way up, that follows you for the rest of your life, not just when you graduate school and you're done, when you apply for jobs and things of that nature, or even when you apply for a college application. They're going to look at your grades and your transcript from the ninth grade on up. And, when you're in your day-to-day life, you're not going to see the future result of what your grades are going to get you. But if you do, when you do graduate, you will reap the benefits of those. So it's one of those things where you have to put the time in and get the results later. That's called discipline. In the same manner, whatever sport you're in, you're going to have to build your skill level with those things. You're going to have to go to work and put work in and practice when nobody's there with you. You're going to have to wake up when nobody else wakes up. You're going to have to put in extra time after practice when nobody else wants to, because there is a part of the team games, but there's also individual accolades that happen from that, including college success when players from good teams will end up going to the college. Not everybody on the team will go to college, and all of that has to do with what kind of work that you're putting in extra, or things that are outside of the normal practice time and things like that. Um, and that also includes your what you're doing with your recruitment. If you are had you're going to have to find somebody who gets you highlights. You're going to have to make sure that when you're playing, that you understand that you're literally uh, rehearsing basically for coaches. When you're playing those games, everything shows up. And yes, everybody edits and it shows out just the good plays. But when certain coaches will ask for game film so that they can see your mannerisms, that's away from just your highlight film. So even when you're playing regular games, you're not you're everything is for the future. Everything is for the future. You may be playing regular season games. Well, guess what? You're preparing for the playoffs. And then while all of those games are going on, you want to make sure that your attitude is correct. You want to make sure that you're encouraging to your teammates. You want to make sure you have the right attitude. You want to make sure that you're recovering from mistakes correctly, because everybody's going to make mistakes. And all of those things are going to show up on film later when a coach is looking to recruit you. So, this week's tip is about seed time and harvest. Make sure that you're doing what you're doing on a daily basis so that you can achieve the success that you want to in the future. And that so every day that you get up and you put towards your goals, you're planting seeds. And then after all of that is done, when it's time to collect and when it's time to reap your harvest, and when it's time to you have to be patient. Even as a gardener, you can't make the plants hurry up and grow. You have to allow what you've done to reap the benefits, and your plants will grow sometimes faster or sometimes larger. So when you're in your recruitment, make sure that you understand I've done my part. I've done what I'm supposed to do with grades. I put my work in. I put my film out there. And once that happens, you have to make sure you're patient so that, coaches have their own thing that they're doing, and they have to find time to do their recruitment to contact you. So be patient and trust that what you're doing is going to reap you success. And that's our tip for the week.
All right, Coach. Wow, awesome tips, and it's also biblical. The Bible says you will reap what you sow. And that's so important that young people understand that my mom used to tell us growing up that what you do now will follow you for the rest of your life. And she was right about so many things because I saw so many people that, especially like when I was coming up. I mean, there were people that were getting high, they were drinking, they were smoking, and today they look like they're 80 years old.
Mhm.
It caught up with them. Whatever you do, there's consequences. And you like you said, you can't expect something to happen or a plant to come up overnight. You got to be patient. You got to, but and the main thing I think is that you have to make sure you have handled your business. That is one thing I have learned from this show, listening to the coaches, is that you gotta handle your business in the classroom. No matter how many offers you get, how much people love you or how great you are. If you don't handle your business, it's pretty much you're gonna be constantly starting over. So, anything you want to add, Candy?
No, you guys have said everything. I mean, and the message tonight, Coach Kelly, was not only for athletes. I felt it as well. I mean, even as an adult watching, or parents or supporters, like even in life, it's the harvest. Like we're preparing for whatever it is, I guess, that you're working towards, but being patient. And that's a lesson that we can take for ourselves and even pass on to our
Yes.
children and athletes in the future. So kudos. I love the message tonight. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. And just to touch on the reservation situation, just really quick, it's not any different than any other. I can literally, because I've had experience in both with both teammates, athletes, and on all levels. You can compare it to the inner city, but in a different context. Inner city, all those distractions that are there, same thing happens on the reservation, but it's in a rural situation.
Mm.
You have all of the exact same. Basically, it's just one's inner city, one's in a rural area, and the only thing, the major difference is that you're dealing most of the time with, specifically on the reservation, with people that are particularly in your tribe. And there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of jealousy that happens. Um, but that's anywhere you go. People want to be um, a part of success, but they also will be upset at people because they're not making those same choices that you're making. So, and I tell this to my kids all the time, and Drake said it the best: jealousy is love and hate at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They love what you're doing and with the success you're having, but they hate you because they wish they could do what you're doing, but they weren't strong enough to make those same choices. So don't be upset when people get jealous, because it's kudos to you. Um, it happens like that everywhere you go, regardless of the situation. Everybody always has those times in their life where they're like, well, how come it's me? How come it's me? It isn't just you. It's everybody who has to go through those things in order to achieve success. And everybody has a story to tell once they get there. So I really wouldn't say that it's just a different setting. It's no different than an inner city.
Wow.
Interesting.
Very, very, very interesting. Well, as always, Coach, awesome segment. Man, it keeps getting gooder and gooder. All right.
My mom's an English teacher. She's probably scratching the
I
floor
know
right
she.
Well,
Yeah, I know she.
I'm
I'm sorry, Mom.
I was
And Candy too. Candy corrects my writing. So.
I do it all the time. I cringed, but I let him be great. We know what
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching us tonight. I am Coach Thomas.
I'm Coach Kelly.
and I'm Candy Knight. Thanks for tuning in to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. Have a good night.